Happy? Yeah, what's up with it? Happy? Yeah, what's up with it?
Good evening, listeners, one and all, and welcome to the quarterfinals of the Valor Cup, the first Oceanic Valorant tournament presented by Amateur Oceanic Esports. Missed a word there. Sponsored by My Republic Gamer. I'm Peronius. Here with me is Temporal, and we are here to bring you a great night of Valorant action.
That's right, Peronius. This is it. We're into the finals of the Valor Cup, and what a tournament it has been so far. This is one of the first tournaments in the Oceanic region, and along with the Ignition Series events that have either happened or about to happen, it's really one of the first opportunities players have to make a name for themselves in the Oceanic Valorant scene, and I have loved what I've seen so far.
Absolutely. To recap the tournament, the Valor Cup has been a 7-week-long tournament with a $200 cash prize pool on offer for competitors. Stage 1, we had 64 teams going head-to-head in a 3-week-long Swiss bracket, playing 2 matches every Friday night. Each round they matched up with other teams with similar win-loss records. You know how Swiss works, meaning each team played against opponents of roughly equivalent skill.
Now that stage 1 has been completed, we have our top 7 teams. The Weekend Warriors finished the season undefeated. If you're confused about the name, they were the Titanium Savages. They've renamed themselves. Joining them and they'll get a free berth to the semi-finals. Playing for the remaining 3 semi-final spots are the teams that finished 5-1 over the course of the season. Those are Legion, Forbidden Gaming, Aurora, Lanterns, Doxa, and Arriety Esports. These teams will now compete in a single elimination finals bracket, determine who will be taking home the lion's share of their $200 prize pool provided by My Republic Gamer.
That's right, stay home with the #1 broadband provider for gaming. My Republic Gamer offers fixed broadband plans and services that provide ultra-low, low-latency, ultra-stable, low-latency connections, optimizing your gameplay experience. My Republic Gamer customers can enjoy exciting privileges, special gaming offers, and exclusive access to specialized gamer perks. Make sure you check out My Republic today.
Hopefully all the players tonight are on My Republic connections. They are going to need every advantage they can get. And first up in our quarterfinal broadcast will be a face-off between Legion and Arriety Esports in a best-of-3 map series, with the winner proceeding to the semi-finals, where they'll face off against the winner of Doxa and, I should know the other team, Forbidden Gaming. But before we get into that, let's have a quick look at the season that was and figure out how we got here. Now, Pyronius, the match we watched last week was the Titanium Savages, now the Weekend Warriors. They took on Forbidden Gaming in a very close match on Bind.
Yeah, this was an exciting one. In the end, it was 13-10 in favor of the Weekend Warriors, or Titanium Savages as they were at the time. But a very tight, very closely fought matchup between those two teams.
That might just be a preview of the grand final, given that was the Weekend Warriors' biggest competitor biggest challenge within the season. The rest of the matches they played actually quite comfortable. 13-6 was the highest scoreline achieved by both Nameless and one of the teams we're seeing tonight, Legion, who ended up finishing second. They had an up and down last week of the tournament. They went up against Aurora, another finalist team, comfortably beat them 13-3, but then their last match of the season was that 6-13 loss to Weekend Warriors. We'll see how they're able to carry on into tonight. They had a great season aside from that one loss, so they'll be out for blood, and Arriety Esports could be quite hard pressed to go up against the Legion.
Absolutely. Yeah, something to keep in mind with tonight's schedule is that we are going to be because we're into the finals now, it will be a best of 3, so no longer do the teams have to worry about getting caught out on a map that maybe they're not so great on. They have a chance to prove that if they do have that one map weakness, they can fight back in the others, so it's not quite as quick and deadly for them, which means an opportunity for the teams to bounce back and win out the series rather than it just being over straight away.
Indeed, and if we look back over the course of the season, we'll start with Legion. They had a quite comfortable first 3 matches. Then we saw them on stream go up against Dire Esports, and that was quite difficult for them. They got off to a slow start. Dire Esports took an early lead, but in the end, Legion able to even it up at the half, and their second half was a whole lot better than their first. They had ended up taking it out on Haven, but it showed that they might have some weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, none of these teams are invulnerable at the end of the day. They've all got areas that they specialize in and areas that perhaps they are a bit lacking. And as these teams getting a chance to come around against each other for more than the first time, maybe some of those weaknesses can be exposed a bit more and exploited. There's certainly a lot more room for development. Certainly as well as the scene sort of develops here, the top teams will sort of learn who each other are, and they'll be sort of the go-to for each other for scrim partners and things like that. So early on, it's really hard when you don't know any of the teams to work out where you can get good practice from. But as things start to evolve in the scene, teams are just going to get better and
Yep. And if we take a look at the other side of this matchup, Arriety Esports, they hit a very different lineup coming in. A different run through the tournament coming into this match. They're the only team in the finals to have suffered a first week loss. They went down 11-13 to Nameless. A close match against a team that finished just outside the top 7, which is quite unlucky for them, but it allowed Arriety to get through. And beyond that, they had what looks like on paper quite an easy run coming in. Of course, they were always going up against teams that had at least suffered one loss going forward in the tournament. They even had a bye there. As a result, they come into the finals as the team that has lost the least amount of rounds out of the top 7. So a little bit of pressure maybe on them in that Legion has had to prove themselves against some tough teams, as Arriety just hasn't had to put on that kind of show yet. So they may be confident based on the relatively clean run they had through, but perhaps that confidence might be a little inflated over what they should be feeling against a tried and tested team like Legion.
yeah, definitely. It's going to be a real chance for them to prove themselves here and now as they come up against this opponent. We're just waiting for everything to be in place, and we should be able to get this match underway shortly. So as we move towards that, let's have a look over the rules for maps now that it is not the first map. Now that we're into the finals, how it's going to work out is the top-seeded team for each map has the right to choose the first map of the series, and then their opponent can choose attack defend.
Indeed. So teams will obviously be looking for maps they are more comfortable on. At this point in the scene, I don't think there's going to be much vision or research being able to be done into your opponent, and especially given the limited map pool, if we go all the way here, you're going to be playing 3 out of 4 maps anyway, so no one's going to be looking for that, oh, this team's not very good at this map, we'll go for it. It'll all be down to what maps teams want to play. Maybe there's one they want to avoid, maybe no one wants to play Split, as the general internet commenting goes, yeah. But maybe, you know what, if I'm a team, maybe I'd make Split my personal pet map. In that case, you take teams to a place they don't want to go, suddenly the ball's in your court, you're where you want to be, and you've prepared well for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a valid strategy as well. I mean, it's something we've seen a lot in the CS scene. Teams, they have their pet maps. Most teams in there of the maps can play all but usually about one of them, because any more than that, you've got too many weaknesses. And certainly with the much more restricted map pool here, 4 maps instead of 7, you definitely want to have good practice on all of them, but you can definitely specialize in one of them and make sure that one is your baby. And yes, after the first map, it will be losers picks for the remaining ones, which means that if you do win if you're the highest seed team, you win on your chosen map, you lose on the other one, you do get to pick the third map as well.
Indeed, and the highest seed in this match is Legion, so they all get first pick, and it looks like in the chat they have opted for Ascent with Arriety Esports. Sorry, we'll get a confirmation on that. Let's go back to talking about the teams. Okay, they've started it. We are going to Ascent whether we want to or not. Arriety will be starting on defense, Legion on attack, and now they're choosing their agents. But while they do that, what kind of setup could we see here, Peronius?
Well, this map, very important to have a lot of smoke, especially for that valuable mid area. Meta has been 2 smoke heroes on this map so far. So generally speaking, that means you're running both Brimstone and Omen, but we'll see if that continues to be the case now, or if we see some other heroes that can smoke things out at range. I mean, a good Jet can throw those smokes surprisingly far, and Viper, with her improvements, might be a bit more viable now as well. Something we've seen not as much of as certainly I was expecting in the last couple of weeks has been the flashes. A lot of the time we've been seeing teams only running sort of one hero that has those initiation flashes, rather than 2. We'll see if that continues to be the case as well.
Well, the teams have selected their agents, and you talked about smokes. When we saw Legion play on Haven a couple of weeks ago, they only ran one smoker. They did run one smoker. It was an Omen. So I haven't seen them play Brimstone before. I haven't seen them play a Jet. I'll be curious to see who picks that up for them now. There you go. We see they have 2 smokers, the Jet and the Omen out. And for the side of I've got my sticky notes the wrong way around. For the side of Arriety Esports, they've picked up the Omen and the Brimstone. And to your comment before, they picked up a Flasher as well with Zyotel on the Phoenix.
Okay, so yeah, running Phoenix as the Flash definitely works. He's not the strongest initiator, but he's definitely got a very versatile kit with the self-healing, much like you'd expect from the duelists. I'm impressed to see what they make from this. I mean, they've not running a Sage is an interesting decision here. Obviously, it's a calculated one, but they do have, I suppose, they've got Sova there as well with the tools that he brings for initiation. But interesting going with Cypher instead of Sage, I guess. Both
I
teams,
have
of course, running a Cypher.
Seen comments that Ascent, because the mid is so open, Sage's utility in the wall and the slow aren't that useful. So if you have a lot of smokes, you can get away with it. Of course, you're not running the heal, but really you just revert back to a more CS style gameplay where there's no heals available anyway.
That is true. That is true. And as long as you get the decisive fight wins and there's no opportunity for your opponent to heal,
Well,
you don't lose that bind down. Yeah, that's a big opening exchange.
Speaking of fight wins, Xylo picks up to Arriety already with the numbers advantage. Joy pokes around the back, finds Struct, gets taken out for the efforts, but it leaves Fate on half health, no armor to speak of. Has a spike in hand, but going to be hard pressed to take on Xylo and Q.
Maybe. I mean, he has picked up 2 people already, so definitely a bit of a crack shot there. The fact he's on half health isn't great, but he has the tools to make this one work. He's got his recon arrow available, considering where he wants to throw that out, because it will give them some information about his position as well. But by launching it very skyward, it sort of makes it hard to predict exactly where he fired it from. Still, we have seen the rotation come through to the A site here. They're both up in heaven. This is going to be rough, and the timing on that. Oh, that's
a decisive win for Arriety Esports to get their round bank underway. Great play by Xylo there with the 2K. And you know what? We were remiss. We didn't introduce the teams for the side of Arriety. It is Xylo, Q, Joy, Zyotel, Zetic. On Legion, we have Azuliate, Jars, Fate, Illu, Struct. No change for them from the last broadcast match.
I'm liking this setup here from Xylo, throwing up that the screen there into the window just to prevent any sort of wall peeking through there. Not something I've seen before, but I dig it.
Just a little poke down A from Joy. Quite an aggressive hold. Why not? Put a bit of fear into the attacking team, especially when you've got such a heavy armory on your side. Zyotel lurking in the corner. What's out? 1 tries to get the trade, but Azuliate will finish the Phoenix off, and they're going to recover a Spectre.
Yeah, any gun you can pick up here is of a lot of value there, because having lost the first round, they don't have a lot of money. We don't see a lot of investment into the second round from whoever loses the pistol round. So if you can capture those guns, especially cheaply, a 1-for-1 trade is a bargain there. Now the attackers, they've got 2 SMGs and an advantage as they move on to site. Joy having an actual rifle, though, could be a big difference maker.
Yeah, they could. A lot of cover up the top. Zetic has to back off for the moment. The spike will be planted. The ball now in Arriety's court. The numbers, but they lose Joy and Xylo. Xylo almost instantly. Zetic gets one back onto Struct, but the Omen did so much damage already. It's going to mean Legion level us up here early.
Yeah, and the donation of that Bulldog over to them as well means that they'll probably run with that here. It looks like they are going to keep hold of both the Spectres and the Bulldog that they picked up from the previous round, knowing that when you've got an opponent that's force-bided to round 2, they don't have the money to play in round 3. So you're going to take a bonus round with these captured guns, and you should be able to run right over this team. But we see a lot of people picking up shorties, And well, you know from experience how devastating they can be.
Oh, we did see a fantastic play out of Legion with the Sage Wall over another Sage Wall on Haven, but without... I'd say they are the ones running the Sage. We could see it here, but in the meantime, Ilu getting the drop on Joy, taking that Sova out through the wall. A lot of intel gone. Now a nice advantage towards Legion.
And with Kumu going down there, that's going to be A site completely open, although no one has the bomb currently, so someone's going to have to run back and get it. Sova will be picking it up on the rotate by the looks of it.
I can imagine those bombs. You plant it. Go plant it now. No, I thought you had the bomb. In the end, doesn't matter. If you're getting the kills like that, you don't need the bomb. Maybe it's just a little diversion. If the defense sees the spike going down and going, oh, well, we'll just mark this out.
I mean, it's not it's definitely not an accident when that sort of play happens. It's something that the CS teams do a lot as well. They leave the bomb in a safe, relatively secure position when they go and do the recon and force, especially when they're pushing both sites like this. And then when the rotate comes through, the person who is doing the rotate will pick up the bomb on the way through. And that's what we saw the Sova going to do. But of course, the last two players were cleaned up there before that came through.
Indeed, the first op is in play. Zyotel whipping that one out of the armory. We'll see how much of an impact he makes.
Ooh.
And if Strux has anything to say about it, no impact. We could even see a recovery of that op, if the Omen is so inclined.
Uh-oh.
Nah, waiting out the Owl drone, but unfortunately it meant Xylo could get in position. Q and Joy finding kills of their own. All of a sudden, the tables turn. They lose the Opper straight away. Now they've got the advantage.
Yeah, a lot of patience there from Kuwu. He actually waited for the first person to walk past, waiting for another person in there to line up, because they did not check that corner for him. And in the end, he's able to get one, doesn't get both, but the damage overwhelmingly done.
Play just hanging out in spawn, waiting to respawn. 40 seconds, and yeah, this is going to be a tense wait on if the defense is pushing up or not. It looks like might be going for it, trying to extract a little vengeance for the fallen soldiers.
Well, he'll know from team comms that one of them is quite low, and they'll know the Cypher is tagged up heavy, so if he can get the shock dart onto the Cypher, then maybe he can go for the 1v2, but as it stands now, I don't know. Oh, he's going for it. He's going to commit into this site.
He's in for a world of hurt if he's spotted out.
Oh, no.
See that Cypher on low health. There you go. Gets the trade in the end. Joy finishes them off, having retrieved the op. In the end, Arriety leveling us up. This looks like it could be a really close map.
Yeah, definitely. There's still a lot of money available here for both these teams, in fact, but especially the attackers here. Quite well afforded. Meanwhile, the defense is not really in a comfortable spot economy-wise, and we see it from some of the gunjoys. Xylo's going to have to come out on the Bulldog and half armor. Not really how you'd want to be, so they need to be careful here, because if they lose this round, it's going to put them into what's probably an eco round, and that's even more going against them.
Ilu opens up their operator account, finding Zetic very early in that round. Xylo with the follow-up. There you go, second for Ilu, and we saw how good they were on the Omen a couple of weeks ago, and onto the Jet, a common op hero. There's a little dance going on. Struck eventually gets the drop on Q. So maybe a little ray of hope for Legion.
Yeah, very well played there. Now the defense is starting to buckle here. And we'll recover the op there. Joy grabbing that and moving away. Probably looking to just save that, given the state of their team's economy.
You got a feel for Zyotel picking up the op twice in a row, and unfortunately going down without making much of an impact. It's a little blow to the confidence, and Legion getting the spike down will be another blow to Arriety's confidence overall. They've got some numbers, but the chances of them retaking, very slim.
Yeah, well, there's also the risk as well. Like, they don't want to retake. Joy's setting up here for exit frags. He wants to catch people as they leave the site, maybe take some guns away from the other team. Now they're hearing the gunfire and assuming that people are out hunting for them. Most important thing here is just Joy saving that orb. Xylo probably would like to try and get a better rifle, and looks like he is going to creep up to try and make that happen.
But the attackers, they retreated to the opposite corner of the map. Of course, if they look, they're the ones setting the tone of which side they go to. They should know that if they haven't gone B at all, Arriety, it's a great place to hide, given that you're not going to expect any attackers there anytime soon.
Yeah, that, and it's very risky to go pushing out there knowing that the enemy has recovered an op. You got to be expecting people setting up for those exit frags as well. So unless you're going hunting for them before the bomb goes off, you're probably not looking to go out there afterwards.
Lots of use of those jet abilities, but you lose to get into an interesting position on top of these boxes. Looking for a sightline. Doesn't appear Zetic wants to take any kind of silly duel down mid. Playing it safe for the moment.
Stealing sight.
Yeah, it's looking like a very slow push coming here from the attack now. Might be looking to push onto A again, just looking at the players there. The Omen, especially the Omen there. Struct is going to be the initiator here.
Here we go. We see Zetic pushing out. Right into mid.
Ooh.
Could fall afoul of Struck. No! The Omens trading each other out, but in the end, Fate leveling the odds. That means mid control goes over to Legion.
You will not kill my allies.
Oh. Not what you want to hear as Arriety. Especially with your Brimstone just dancing around at spawn.
Well, it is sort of the downside of not running the Sage there, is you don't get these opportunities to bring someone back.
That's a nice repositioning. And to secure B as Legion make their way onto the point for first time since the pistol round. And what a position from Struck, ready and waiting for the defenders to come around. That's two down. Run it back. Is the only player on the field. Zytel taking down, Ilu taking care of business.
Yeah, he's not going to get away with that up.
No. A nice effort, but Legion just too well placed. And that ultimate usage by Struck, so smart. Getting at the back of the site, it meant once Legion was pushing on Arriety, even when they tried to come in and contest, they were going to be in all sorts.
Yeah, it is definitely a rough position to be in there. If you don't have anyone in position on site already to interrupt that teleport, you're basically having to retake even as they're taking site. Like it's getting the site for free is what it is, and very, very good use of that teleport there.
A familiar position from Ilu. Can they get a little bit of sightline start through the wall and through the flame wall? Not quite going to find anything, but a bold effort by the Jet.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a rough position to be in if you are that Phoenix. You know, you've been scattered out by the Recon Bolt, and
only a short.
there's an op starting to trying to take you down through the wall.
Exactly where you are.
Oh, Zytel trying to hold mid with a shorty. It was a bold attempt to Q on the outside. Even though they're spotted, able to get the drop onto Azulier. Sorry, no, able to get this. I'll take that back. Anyway, Legion now looking down the barrel of 3v3 and positioning here might favour Arriety.
Yeah, Arriety going to be able to recover some weapons here. They've already got a Vandal, and that's going to be a that's going to be the op picked up there. So that's some big pickups there. It's a bit of a rejuggling of weapons to get the op over to your op specialist. But it's a 3v2 retake, and now they've got proper weapons, although they do lack armor.
That's a nice dark cover, going to block off anything from Fate. The orbital strike comes down. Try and clear out the back of the site, but no one is there. Q walks in, finds Jars, gets traded out in turn. Now a 1v1 Fate. Whips out the straight through the spike. This is so smart, the spike! I don't think there's time to defuse, Pyronius.
There definitely was not. The moment he pulled out that Hunter's Fury, you see Zetic just trying to get out of there. He realizes the jig is up. There is no way he's going to be able to defuse that one. So a great use of an ultimate there just to deny any chance of a defuse.
Normally you see that from the orbital strike, but of course Legion doesn't have that available to them, so they make use of what they have, and just such smart play, especially Fate was blocked off by the dark cover, but then they didn't even need to make their way anywhere near the point in the end.
Yeah, that's it. That's just it. It's like, as long as you know exactly where that spike is, you can just lob your shot straight through it, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Joey's trying to get a little bit of intel. Goes down to Ilu, who's actually going to give up one of the ops. So Ilu traded out in turn, resting the momentum for the moment. Legion now sucking multiple points across the map. They might have an avenue onto B. So the time it takes... Go ahead.
We see the rotate coming through. They're moving over there. That said, defense is also moving in position. Both Xylo and Zedek are there to contest it. They're already on site, and I don't know if they know that for sure, although I guess they'd assume as much. Now they know.
That was quite bold. We saw Struct walk straight through the dark cover, confident in their team having the site locked down. Now it's up to Arriety. Oh no, Q did not look down. Jar sitting right... Oh, sorry, that was Azuliate sitting right underneath. Trying to take care of business. Xylo gets one back, but now it is all on Xylo, and this Phoenix has not had much luck today. We'll see if that can change in this round. They've got an op in hand. It looks like they might just back away.
Yeah, they're looking to get away, try and get someone as they go for the peak. There it is.
Oh, goes to the second, not to be. As Legion extend their lead as we close in on the end of the first half.
Yeah, and what a great half it has been here for Legion. It is Legion, right? I'm not getting my...
Correct, yes. It is Legion on attack.
Always unsure when it comes to Valorant because I don't trust the UI. Oh, boy. But yes, great half so far from Legion. Have been running all over this Arriety defense, which, I mean, to an extent, this is what we expect. They are the top seed for a reason in this particular matchup. Number 2 seed overall in our quarterfinals.
And that seed...
There's some early signs of life, though, from Arriety. They may be able to make something happen. But it's a bit rough. They're back onto the power pistols here.
They really need someone to step up. Like, I'm looking at Xylo. If you're going to be picking up the op early and in multiple rounds, you really need to be picking up the frags. But Zetic going down, not a good start. What a shock bolt. Q stuck in the corner, falling afoul of Fate. Legion are going to march straight on to B. They've got the numbers and point site control. Not much the Sheriffs can do.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. They're just going to get picked apart from angles here. Oh, Joey gets a trade back, but I'm not going to be long here. And I actually want to take a moment to look at not this round that just happened, but the one before. Azulia. His teammate spotted him there, and I don't know if it was like a comms issue or whatnot, but not only did the teammate not shoot him straight away, but didn't warn his own member that they were about to step on top of an Azuliate that was ready for him. As a result, Azuliate not only takes the person who steps down from market, but then spins around and manages to one-shot the person who had an angle on him as well. That just shouldn't be happening.
There it is. Xylo finally takes the op duel against Illo. Could this be the round Arriety uses a stabilize? They'll certainly be hoping so, but they've made the optimum start, forcing the resurrection really early out of jars.
I have the spike.
Yeah.
Joke's over. You're dead.
What's more important is they haven't given up any position. Nowhere that they're compromised.
Oh, no, Xylo walked into the dark cover, popped up a shot, not able to finish the job onto Struct. Forced, but thanks to the runner back, gets away with their life.
Yeah, didn't actually get any hits on Struct at all, unfortunately, but Zedek's there to clean that one up.
And Q with a 2k right off the bat. Things looking up for Arriety. Joy poking around the corner to lose Q. Ilu, of course, back into the fight thanks to that resurrection. It's Legion making a push towards A with the numbers they have. They can at least have an opportunity to get the spike down. They'll be hard pressed to defend against any counter attack. There you go, Fate down.
One down.
Ilu in the corner with the spike, picks up one in the end. That would be Arriety getting their first on the board for about 4 rounds.
Yeah, it's actually been 5 rounds consecutively for Legion, but Arriety are able to pick this one up. And they're in a position where they finally got some money as well. They're running double op, which is very risky because, I mean, on this sort of map, I guess there are as many long sight lines that you can get away with it, but it's double op on attack especially. It's on defense. What am I doing? Double up on defense makes sense. There's enough long angles that you can hold to make it work. But if you lose a sight quickly, it's really hard to go for the retake with that weapon.
Indeed, lots of corners. Here, the Owl drone letting Joy know there's someone coming. Out comes the Hunter's Fury, sweeping through where the attackers are standing there. You can see them jumping back and forward on the silhouette, trying to avoid those arrows streaming through the wall. That they do for the moment. It's given Joy a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, a bit of damage has been done. A lot of players have lost their shield. A couple of people down to 70 from one hit of that thing. So it's definitely a lot of early damage that the members of Legion here didn't really need to have. Certainly would have preferred not to have. And, we've seen a bit of a rotate towards A as well, although Joy is going to be moving back to... Okay, they're expecting because the hit hasn't come in yet that it's a rotate, and now they know better.
Oh, Q waiting in the backline. The smoke buying a lot of time. Eventually, Ilu comes in. Now the orbital strike rains down from above. That will see a 2k from Q off the one ability. Is Brimstone holding strong on A.
Yeah, they do manage to not have the spike go down. Fate's holding on to that one, so it's not over yet. But with 20 seconds left, they don't have time for a rotate.
Fate poked their head out. Zytel coming alive, picks up 2 to finish off. Arriety right back in this, only 3 rounds behind.
Yeah, this will be the last round of the half, though. So in the end, the half has gone through to Legion, but you got an opportunity here to make this one only a 5-7 as opposed to an 8-4 half. So very, very big difference in that scoreline. A lot of pressure here. Ilu's going to pick up the op again. And it looks like we are going to continue to see the double op on defense. I mean, they've got the money for it, so why not?
Perhaps it was just a matter of warming up, getting into the groove, and that's what Arriety was looking for. As you said, coming into the half, 7-5 will be really good news for Arriety, especially considering the start, or the most of the first half, and coming into attack, it'll be quite bountiful for them, perhaps. Anyway, Zetic repositions right in front of someone's line of sight, forced to back off as Ilu opens up onto Q.
Get out of my way!
Resurrection for Arriety, so they will be finishing off the half with these 4 players at most.
Yeah, both the Cyphers have their ultimates, and Ilu's just popped the Jet ult as well, but so it's only the Cypher ults left on the table, although Fate only needs 1 kill to pick up his, so that's still got the potential to see a Hunter's Fury before the end of this round.
Legion suffer their first loss of the round, losing out on Struck, the top fragger currently for their team, so a big impact being made. Xylo, unfortunately, not able to take care of Azuliat. The spike is actually over on A. They got the door shut. They've got this position fortified. They're in a position to take out the half.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be hard. I'm surprised that they're going for the retake with the ops instead of grabbing a rifle off the body. I guess those bodies aren't as accessible, but ops on the retake are really rough because, especially if you're poking multiple angles, you get such a delay between shots. In the end, they're able to hold the site quite comfortably, so that will be an 8-4 half going over the Legion.
Indeed, a dominant showing, and you see on that scoreboard, Struct leading the way, 13-8. Ilu not far behind. Expect that kind of performance out of Ilu. A strong op, a really good mechanical skill. So those two definitely leading the charge for Legion as they move over onto defense.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see how they post this one up. It looks like nothing too surprising coming out from this positioning. And most of them going for the ghosts, so we don't have any unexpected weapons. We don't have any sneaky shortage hiding anywhere. Ooh, that's a lot of info.
You can see the attackers marching through mid. Plenty of smoke cover to get them through, but the spike has actually made its way around to A on its lonesome. So a risky maneuver, splitting themselves up and leaving the spike on their own.
Yeah, we've seen the rotate through, and now the defense, yeah, they're confident it's coming down on A. We see everyone rotating over as the hit comes down onto the side.
Thanks to all the cover provided, it looks like Arriety will be allowed to get the spike down, and a lot of utility already been invested. Oh no! Struck didn't see Zetic in the corner, neither did Chaz. That Omen picking up 2, Xylo finishing up the 3rd, and Legion, they get 1 back courtesy of Fate, but Arriety in firm control with the spike down. Ilu hoping for a miracle.
Yeah, they've planted for long, so it's going to be fairly easy for them to hold this one. I mean, Q doesn't even have to poke out from that corner. They can just watch the spike, let the other teammates take the risk of the early peaks, and Zetic's going to take down Ilu there.
You know, it's 3k in that round from the Omen, a really good position. Caught Legion unawares, really turned the tide, and well, they've got the first round win, but we saw this in the first half, Pyronius, and they weren't able to make good on it.
Yeah, the early pistol rounds are good, but what's more important is actually using that momentum. We saw Legion turn it around, take the weapons off the bodies of the members of Arriety and actually win that second round. And then from that, they were able to use the momentum from the force buy to pick up the third quite cleanly as well. They'll be looking to do the same thing. We do see a couple of shorties come out. Ilu and Fate are going to be camping with both of those. The only investments from the players, however. At the moment, they've got a couple of people still sitting back in spawn. Oh, we're in a pause. That would explain it.
That's alright, gives you a bit of time to think. I'm not quite sure which side at this point would want time to think. I mean, Legion's on a roll. Yeah, you lose the pistol round, but you've shown that you know how to win that follow-up round. Arriety, perhaps, just they've spent a fair bit. We saw Zytel with a monitor. So looking to go hard early, and you want to be very, very careful you don't lose that straight away. Of course, it takes out, not only does it take out of your bank, you're at risk of giving it a free sniper rifle over to Legion.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give much in the way of big tools there. Although, I mean, the Marshal is not an op, so there is that. But well, I mean, I say that it's not an op against them. It is, however, going to be very dangerous against a team that can't afford armor, because that is still a one-shot body shot there without the armor to cover it, which means it is very dangerous nonetheless. But because they have been able to purchase the armor, it is less deadly against them than against their Legion opponents. And certainly a good pickup to hold some long angles.
A might be the go. A couple of members stuck in mid behind all the smoke.
Stacked.
Yes, it has. Just the lonely Sova holding down B, and why not? Most pushes on this map typically go towards A anyway, so not too surprising. Especially if you've got an armory advantage, as Arriety does, you'd expect them to go towards A for the second round.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Ilu waiting. The shorty takes care of one. That was the monitor. We'll see if someone else chooses to pick it up, but in the meantime, Arriety on the site, getting the spike down. Jars waiting out the smoke. Oh, it's 2 defenders. Sneaky stuck, waiting in hell. Azulia gets taken down, but Jars still alive. Picks up a Spectre. They've got vision on the spike, but it's just the one Sage left. Can they clutch it out? Gets a few tags, but no, has to reload. Gets a few tags on them from the Archway in the end. Q finishing the job. Arriety, they're second on the trot for the first time in this match. They come within 2 rounds of Legion score.
It's a great position to be in, but Legion now able to buy up those rifles. So we're going to be heading into a proper gun round here. The first one for the second half. And this is where they need to keep that momentum going. They've got about equal on the board. They don't quite seem to... No, so they actually have the weaker buy here because they're going to hold on to those SMGs. I mean, I suppose because they lost a couple of players... They don't have quite as much money as they'd like. And Xylo are going to be playing on half armor as well, but Azuliet also on half armor. And this time the defense a bit more spread out. They have some aggressive positioning there from Struct. Looks like they're going to go for the play.
Brain through the cover, seeing if they can find anything. Actually gives away the position. Uses the teleport to get the hell out of dodge.
Yeah, and they're going to be running back to their friendly Sage, I imagine, to try and get a top up. There we are.
Aw. Thanks, Nurse Sage. You're a lifesaver. But hey, that just shows you the difference in these teams. I mean, a lot of teams... I'm honestly, I'm surprised a lot of teams don't run less Sage. I know... you know what? Well, that's a discussion for another pause time. It will be a B push from Arriety. Zytel marks it. Zetic. Oh no, Ilu in the corner. You're right. Picks up to eventually trade it out, but the damage is done. It's still numbers in the favor of Arriety, but the odds might have been even just enough for Legion to come for the retake. And Zetic is low. Has to be very careful. Oh, backing into the smoke right in front of Struct. Oh, there you go. The Omen around the corner. Takes care of one, hits two, Joy down just. The lonely Brimstone left. Where could he possibly be hiding? Off the point. Oh no, the trap wire. Gonna give away his position, but Q able to find Struct in the middle of that. It's a 1v1. Q has armor, has health, and an incendiary out. Can they finish off? Yes. Azuliet will go down. That will see the round one for Arriety Esports. They move within one round, Pyronius.
Yeah, and that's a great play there from Q. We see Struck going, tapping the bomb, trying to bait the defuse and get Q to expose himself. He just fires the molly into there. He doesn't need to expose himself there. He can force you to move off that thing. And then the game is turned and you're stepping back into his sights. Q able to easily clean up from there.
Get out of my way!
Momentum in Arriety's favour now. They've forced a limited buy shorties mainly for Legion yet again, and it didn't pay off last time. This time, especially with momentum on the attacking team's side, things are looking good for Arriety to even things up.
Yeah, I mean, this is a force buy, a bit of an eco. We've got a couple of players with armor. You know, Ilu has full armor but no gun. Struct has got a basic SMG and half armor. They're just trying to maybe get some lucky kills, recover some weapons from there, but it's going to be difficult to do that.
The incendiary into hell burns Struct alive. Smart play. We've seen defenders wait there before. Chars finds Zetic. Not what you're expecting is Omen trying to hold out. There you go, the shorty through the door, not going to be enough to save Fate. Joy swings around, picks up Chars. It's just Ilu left, has the Blade Storm at the ready, but I don't think they're going to be investing such a useful ultimate into taking the site back.
No, I think without getting a few more kills, you know, maybe if you get one or two, then you pop it out and clean up the rest, but without getting those early ones, it's not going to be the play. And now, scores actually tied up. This has been a great half for Arriety, who've been looking really good on the attack here. Not to say Legion haven't been having some nasty tricks, but they've sort of been losing the rounds they couldn't afford to, and it's been forcing them into an awkward economic position.
Indeed, that this round might signal the return of their good fortune. They were hovering over the double op setup. You see Azuliet watching down that A corridor. Doesn't quite get the shot off. I don't think even got a tag. Oh, that's brutal. Has to back away. Still got vision on the door, but definitely not as good as a nice kill a few seconds into the round.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely sweating with the amount of damage he took from that one as well. 36 is a very uncomfortably low amount of health to have. Means a lot of things will be taking you out with just a body shot. Looks like they will be rotating, however. Looks like the hit's going to come up through mid.
Well, Struct is the only... Yeah, Struct the only player there. The Paranoia goes through. Has support from Ilu as they teleport towards the B side of this alley. Oh, no! The ambush is good. 3 straight away lost for Arriety. The remainder, who are coming around from the spawn side, will be forced to back off. They're going to make a beeline across towards A, but getting there is going to take time.
Yeah, it's such a great play from Struck there as well. He throws out the blind there. The Paranoia, that's the name of it. Throws out the blind there and then teleports away. Means the players, they're pretty sure they know where he is. They pass that first corner, see that he's not there, and then there's that moment of, oh crap, where is he? And that's when the ambush is closed.
Oh, Fate! What are you doing? Going for a stroll and walk straight into the remainder of Arriety. They're getting an op for their trouble, and that's just not something you want to give away.
Yeah, they'll take that op for free and hold out until next round here. That's going to be a helpful donation to keep their economy nice and strong. It's going to mean that Joy has quite a lot of money there to potentially buy a teammate a weapon. Q also sitting on quite a lot of cash. Both these players just under 6k money, which means they've got plenty of team funds here if this round goes poorly. And yeah, there we go. We are going to see some team money being invested there to split it around. Now they've all got about 3k, which means even if they lose this round, they'll be able to full buy next round as well. Quite comfortably, in fact.
There you go. Much better start for Zulu. Finding Q Zolo doesn't learn the lesson of the Brimstone. Joy. 3rd time's a charm for Arriety to get onto the point, but it is an expensive entry. The Hunter's Fury sweeps through as a one target on Joy's mind. They're not able to finish it off, and as they walk in, doing it with just a classic hands. Zytel on the point, run it back, saving their life. They're able to find Ilu in the meantime, but those 2 players go straight down, and it's just Zetic remaining. Arriety. No Spike, which is stuck over on A.
You will
Legion?
not kill my allies.
For some reason, investing
A bit
the
of
resurrection in it.
Their economy
fair
is
enough.
not that comfortable right now, so you want to save that gun. Yeah, so you see that a lot in these things. We'll see the res invested not to try and secure the round, but just to secure the gun if the team is in a bad economic position. Now, bringing 4 guns into this next round, they're finally starting to build up an actual nest egg so that they're not 1 round away from having to eco again. So this is where they want to be. This is great for Legion, who not only are pushing out in the lead, but they've got a bit of an economic buffer now that'll help keep them there.
Well, I won't question Sages doing it in my matches any longer. As you mentioned, they get a nice little buffer for the lead, and they're only a few rounds away from taking out this first map. Both teams actually got a few ultimates to work with, both the Neural Thefts and the From the Shadows. Just the Hunter's Fury and Orbital Strike, the difference. Here it comes.
Hunter's Fury.
Yeah. Not really going to find anything, just
He's got 1.
throwing it through. Oh no, Joy. Azulia again picks up the 2k to start off the round, but this time there is no backup from Joy. The Neural Theft highlighting where the remaining attackers are coming from. They're going to know that they were hovering around A, and Struck's going to use the opportunity to go up and get aggressive. Finds Xylo.
As soon as they were revealed, we see the hunting parties surging out.
Oh, Ilu, what are you doing, mate? Gives away their life. Takes a bit of damage. Gives a bit of damage. In the end, Q will not be long for this world as Legion push ahead 11-8.
Yeah, and it's a lot. It does mean a lot to prevent any of those guns escaping into the next round, because we're starting to see Ariety's economy break here. This round, they're not able to fully buy everything they'd want. Zytel's just going to be playing on the Spectre, so they're down to 1 SMG with the rest of the ARs. And if they lose this round, that's it. They are broke, which means this is a risky round to be going into. If you don't win this one, you're on match point with a terrible bye. So they are really putting it all on the line here.
Nice flash. Azuliet has to back away ever so briefly. The vision was obscured anyway. Oh, gets the drop onto Zetic. I'm not entirely sure how Azuliet even saw that.
No, he took damage in the process, desperately running back to meet up with the Sage and get some healing. The site will get taken over in the meantime.
Nice spam to the smoke struck, though not able to find Xylo. Cypher will finish off the Omen on the high ground. Zytel hiding underneath the hill. Oh, dearie me. Is there nothing this man can't do? Spike planted and even 3v3. Everyone and their dog is on this point right now. Plenty of vision thanks to that Cypher cam.
Yeah, that camera, I mean, it's already gotten one kill by getting that tracking dart on there that set up the through the floor shot. Ooh, the wall down, they're trying to go for the defuse.
Spotted out. Xylo with their third of the round. The orbital strike going to prevent anybody from defusing. Ilu feels the full force of that orbital laser, and Xylo with the 4K to finish off the round. Arriety not out of this just yet.
I cannot stress enough how much they needed to win that round. It really was all in for that one. They didn't quite get through it as cleanly as they would have liked. They would have liked maybe one more person to survive at least. Because again, this means they're not able to fully buy in. Zetic is going to be on a Spectre. Meanwhile, the defense here, they've still got money in the bank. Not only are they full buying into this one, not only can Azuliet afford an op, but even if they lose this round, they're still fine. They'll still be able to play the next one to the full strength as well.
Here.
It really is Arriety with their backs to the wall here. They cannot afford to lose a round.
Oh, the recon dart hit Zetic in the middle. That's everyone knew where those three players were hiding in mid. As they lose out on their Cypher, and that means the neural theft is gone for Arriety.
For you.
Yeah, lost of that one. You've still got from the shadows available. Zetic maybe being able to use that to take his site.
Blinding.
But they have to worry about Destruct also being able to drop that in, and Illu, of course, still sitting on the Jet ult as well.
A familiar setup for Legion. We saw Struct in this position before, and we saw how good the ambush was. Opting not to reposition this time, but Zytel following up that flash, taking the Omen out of the fight.
Ooh.
Oh no, Zuliate finds Joy, who had the spike. They're going to have that well covered.
Yeah, well, we're going to see the rotation through. Zetic's the one in the danger spot here. It's going to be a 1v2, but maybe if he can win this one out, it's going to be really good for the round. There's Jet going for first, trying to bait him out.
Ilu's gone too far. Charles gets a fair bit of damage, and oh, this could be the opportunity that Arriety needed. There's still 2 players left versus Legion's 3, but Zetic is very low.
They don't have time to reclaim that one. They're not going to be able to get the round.
The timer will run out. We'll see if Zetic's able to pick off anyone, but it doesn't look like Legion going to be retreating back through their own spawn.
There's no need to go for exit frags when you don't need to exit the site, and they know that there's a player lurking there. They're not going to poke out. So as a result, Legion are able to pick up that round, putting them up to match point. And, well, this is where it gets really rough for Arriety, because they are broke. At the moment, I think they're just trying to work out how to maximize guns for everyone. They will be getting a Bulldog on Zytel, but it's still a compromise there. But they do basically have a full lot of ARs.
They're bringing as much firepower as they can muster into what may just well be the last round of this map. Of course, this is a 3-map series, so Legion won't be walking away with the match win just yet, even if they take out Ascent. Arriety will have an opportunity to come back, but for now, they'll be entirely focused here as Ilu whips out the Blade Storm, puts it away, just showing off those knives. The shadows is where Struct is going to be emerging from. Rotation around towards A spawn.
Ooh, and he could catch them here.
Oh, spots them out, but the dark cover going to obscure any vision. And that's a nice repositioning from Zetic onto the back of B. No, gets spotted out, forced to back off, and taken down by Struct, who was ready and waiting for where the Omen came from. Jars, the lone player, will be taken down without making an impact. So no more healing available for Legion. 3v3, Arriety getting the spike down, in with a chance of taking out the round, Pyronius.
Yeah, they did a really good job of securing the site, but the retake is good.
No.
Zuliet wallbangs with the help of that recon.
Oh dear lord, Sova on this site is just so good. The shot goes that gives away face position, traded out, but Arriety coming off better. Now it's just Joy left. Has all the vision they need. The spike, it's going to be too late for Azulia. Not going to be able to get the defuse in unless they are very, very lucky. Oh, hello.
Oh, well, we've seen this one before.
A little bit of tip for Tani was Fate last time. This time Joy with the Hunter's Fury denying the defuse. Getting the kill onto Azulia for good measure. But smart play, at least. Azulia forced Joy to give up their life just to hold on.
Yeah, and that was not a great round, Arriety. I mean, they needed to win it to keep themselves in it, but, I mean, losing everyone except for Joy, and Joy having to use that ult as well just to hang into it, means that they're still in the economic woes. We're starting to see Legion's bank get broken away, but at the same time, because Arriety need to win every round to keep this one alive, we're going to see a loss bonus mounting up in favor.
Oh no, Joy!
Ooh.
Oh, great positioning from Ilu, just waiting for that slight change in color of the 1 pixel door frame. Going for a nice little cheeky wallbang. But it's stymied Arriety for the moment. They're still hovering around that A side.
Yeah, we're seeing the rotate coming through, but they've been spotted by the recon drone. No one from the defense is going to move just yet, but they're expecting a rotate to A, and we're going to see...
Well, there's an op on both sides. Azuliate up in heaven. Watching that A main door, and with the side door going down, immediately broken open. In a great spot to spot out Zytel, turns around, picks up Xylo, taken down for their efforts. But the damage is done, or perhaps not. Arriety planting the spike, just the 2 players remaining. Can they clutch it out, especially when Legion has 2 ops to their name? Actually, no, Ilu, sorry, traded off the op.
You will not kill my ally.
Just picking Ilu back into the fight. This might be it, just Q on 5 health. Will not get it done. Legion will get the defuse and secure Ascent, putting themselves up 1-0 in this quarterfinal.
Yeah, but still a very solid second half there coming out from the members of Arriety, who really showed that they weren't just pushovers here. Ended up bringing it to 13-10, so a great comeback there from Arriety. In the end, they just weren't able to win the decisive rounds to fully bankrupt Legion and get the extra momentum off of that. So Legion able to keep themselves alive, and then once it got to the point where they were at match point, it was going to be very, very hard for Arriety to ever force them into a tough economic spot. As a result, it was really just Legion managing to kill enough members of Arriety that they never actually had a comfortable economy there. So it's where the macro game really comes into play, and Legion's economy just was in such a better spot that they're able to pull out those double op defenses. They're able to have all the equipment they want on their characters, whereas Arriety was forced to make compromise after compromise just to keep themselves in the fight.
And if we take a quick squiz at the scoreboard here, we see Q performing very well, actually topping out over over 4 members of Legion. So a great effort from the Brimstone there, considering I think they were a bit quiet in that first half, given that they were often defending a site that wasn't pushed by Legion on their attack. But overall, quite even, particularly when it came to the amount of kills both teams were getting. I think that, that 1 or 2 kills extra that Legion's getting is what's reflected in the score, only winning by that 3 rounds.
Yeah, very close map, and very well played. So it looks like we'll be heading over to Bind for our next map, something that Those of you who have been watching all season know that is pleasing news for me, as that is my personal favourite, which is perhaps a bit of a controversial opinion, because I've seen some people complaining about that map as well on Twitter. It makes me wonder what map people actually do like. If it's not Split and Bind.
What can you not like about teleporters? I mean,
Yeah.
they don't get used all that much. So it's just a map with optional teleporters.
Well, there are some really nice sneaky things you can do with them, though. Something that I wasn't aware of until quite recently is that if you, as Omen, start your teleport and step through it, you'll make the noise, and then you'll teleport out of it. And so you can fake going through a teleporter. And you can do that twice to make it look like two people have gone through the teleporter when no one has. Very sneaky.
That's true. We're just getting some information here that Legion will actually be changing their name. It'll take effect next week. They'll be moving to Enderpearl. So we'll get any jokes or comments we have about Legion and how many of them are. We'll have to get them out of our system this week, Pyronius. Assuming, of course, they make it through. Arriety could bring it back. They've shown they do have the chops. They picked it up in that second half. Let's hope they can... Well, speaking of that second half, it was actually a 6-5 scoreline to Arriety. So they were on top for most of that half. It just... The first half of the map on their defense is what let them down.
Yeah, definitely. And that's as we were saying at the end of the half, it really is the difference between like a 5-7 half and an 8-4 half. Getting that extra bit in your favor makes a big difference. And we see that play out. Maybe if they'd picked up that extra map there, they're able to go that little bit further, and in the end, maybe come out on top. Maybe bring it to overtime. Who knows?
Let's hope so. I would like to go the full distance, and not only because I want to see a lot more great Valorant action, I want to see what map doesn't get picked. Just curious to see if it would be if it would be Haven or Split.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one, because some people were very leery about the 3 different bomb sites that Haven brings, but Split, I mean, I do not like Split. If I never had to play Split, I'd be okay with that, I think. Even though there are so few maps in the game, I would be okay
remove one quarter of the maps and Pyronius is happy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I want more maps in the game. I also don't want to play Split, so... I think more maps in the game also increases the chance that I don't play Split, so it kind of works out.
Well, there won't be any maps being added in the future, but we have seen the reveal of the next agent, which will be introduced in the game at the start of August, Killjoy. Looks like an interesting addition to the game, shall we say. Yeah,
I've seen some very sarcastic comments about it, certainly harkening back to some of the original announcements back when Valorant was still called Project A. But I think it's all much ado about nothing. I mean, I've had a look at her abilities. I've seen the same leak footage as everyone else, and like the turret apparently does about like 15 or 30 damage a shot, so it's not going to kill people unless they're already on super low health. Everything else can be played around. The mines look really strong, but it looks like there's enough time that when it pops up, you can probably back out of that as long as you're not hard committing. It does mean that it could be a while to sweep sites if you're wanting to slowly chip away at the stuff. You need to commit your utility to block their utility, or you need to move slowly, and there's not a lot of time for that. But it definitely, like a Killjoy Cypher defense overlaying on the same site could be an absolute nightmare to break into that site. But I think more realistically, you play them on different sites if you're running both of them and you lock both of them down. But I don't know, like, I don't think she's as bad as a lot of the initial reactions we've seen to her have been. She's definitely, but it's hard to say until she's actually in the game where she's going to sit. I mean, a lot of people thought Viper would be really strong before she was in the game too. So.
And there was also that hubbub when Reyna was introduced. Oh, she's everywhere. Everyone's just, bringing her out and pub stomping with her, but you don't really see her played in professional level play. So it might just be a ladder problem with Killjoy.
Yeah, I mean, Reyna has no utility unless she gets killed, or unless there are kills. I guess she doesn't have to be the one to actually kill them to use the corpse, but most of her kit needs kills to be in play. So she's great for momentum if you can get it, but until those kills are coming through, all she's got is the eyeball, which it's a very powerful flash, but it's also one of the few you can actually just shoot, and most people do now.
Yep. People slowly getting used to the idea, and will have to get used to the idea of Legion starting out on defense here on Bind. Arriety will be the team starting on attack.
Here.
And we're seeing a change in heroes here. We are actually going to be having Joy go over to the Sage. So they are going to be running... Ooh, nice opening kill there by Fate. But yeah, the only difference between these teams really is Zedek is on Brimstone, while Fate will still be playing the Sova. Other than that, it's pretty much mirrors.
It does mean wholesale changes for which agents the players on Arriety are playing. So far, they've still got they've still got one of the same heroes on the team, but different players on it. Xylo, I think the only player actually on the hero the agent they were initially on. Anyway, as the spike has been planted, it's even losing one early hasn't deterred them yet. As a re-engage from Legion might be coming through lamps. Oh, the Jet puts in, and a great distraction sets up Azuliate to finish off Xylo. Ilu will find a second. Headshots are plenty for Legion as they make their way onto the point. They don't even need... Oh, they did get the defuse, sorry. But Q staying alive, picking up Chars at the end. There's a little bit of revenge there.
Yeah, a bit of revenge, a bit of extra money in the bank, which is definitely not going to go remiss, and gets to come into this round with the Ghost still in hand. The rest of the team, they're going to be ecoing this one. Zedek's going to pick up a shorty, everyone else just playing with the classics, because they know they're going to be playing into a team that's cashed up, although Fate is sticking on the Ghost, which says to me that Fate wants to get an op on the board as soon as possible. So we'll see if that works out for them. Meanwhile, Azuliate has the judge and is just sitting there. Oh, it's going to be rough.
In the meantime, Struct getting the drop onto Xytel with their first kill of the engagement.
Oh
no! Zetic finishes off the Cypher. The teleport gets used for the first time this map. The spike though down in Hookah. There you go. Zetic has picked up that big shotgun, removing Fate from the fight.
That is so brutal. He was so patient there. He wanted to get the maximum number of people. He could hear from his cyber cage how many people were there. Wanted to get all of them. Ends up getting none of them.
Blimey,
cleaned up by a shorty.
Absolutely deadly with the Stinger. Not the most powerful weapon in the game, but Ilu making it look like an op.
It's very good against people with no armor. Like, a single burst, if all of them hit, you're probably taking down someone with 100 health. So it's very good with no armor in play.
Oh,
they get the defuse, but Defuse cleans them up.
Yeah, a nice distraction there by Ilu, marching straight through the smoke, and it forced... Excuse me. It forced Q to hesitate just for that single second that allowed the defuse to finish off. It's a nice play from Legion, an early 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they've got that one on the board, and more importantly, Xytel has the op as well in hand. Meanwhile, the defense looks like, okay, they are forcing into this one. It looks like maybe they were taking a moment to decide how they wanted to play it. Jars will be playing the judge, once again, sitting in Hookah. But this time they've got Azuliate there as well, as a bit of a bait.
I love this. Will Q check that corner? Just a Sova though, so...
Oh, yeah, it's Sova. He's got the firebolt, so...
Oh, the Trapwire caught the Ultra, and I wonder if they even saw Jars. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to
Sage
rotate
not
just
taking
in
the
case.
risk. Yeah. A lot of time wasted, though.
Yeah, they've still got a minute as we see the rotation coming through towards A. There's 2 people playing in hookah and probably one holding long there. They can probably guess that A is the weakest site with only 2 people on there.
Jars making their way around through spawn, shoring up the defenses in a nick of time too. And perhaps that Sage still sitting on top of the Judge. Spike going down. So far, no one has seen each other. Ilu plugging away through a wall where there is no one. Joy found an op, removing Azuliate from the fight. Xylo following up with one of their own. Gets taken down. That Judge being put to good work. Jars trades up for a Phantom.
That's a big one.
Indeed it is. No Phoenix on the field. Lots and lots of cover. But so much slow means they take their time getting to the side. The barrier goes up. Here's Zetic and Zytel getting in there. Trying to get the debuff. Zetic on the wall will take care of business. That will see Arriety taking their first round win on Burn.
Yeah, you've got to watch out with those wall placements. If there's stuff that people can use as a boost up to there, then suddenly the area that you think you're safe from is, well, not doing a lot of good, and definitely catches people off guard if you're expecting that to block things. So in the end, we will see first round on the board for the attack here. Alrighty, getting a win of their own. Now they're able to come in here with all the guns they want. Meanwhile, the defense on the eco. And they're actually just going for a hunting party with these pistols, trying to make it happen and trying to steal some guns. Oh, they've got the spike.
So there's the Blade Storm. Ilu, the first time I think I've seen that in the entire tournament. Driving up a kill, but there is a little counter trade. Zytel finding one of their own. Evening the odds, it's Fate sneaking around the backside. Oh, Zytel.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Gonna retrieve the op for their efforts. Damn.
Now they've got control of the spike and control of the area there as well. It's just going to be rough. We're seeing the rotation coming through from the members of Legion trying to retake this spike.
Oh, Fate walks around the outside, picks up their third of the round. On the way to an ace at this point.
Prepare for hellfire.
Well, that orbital strike gonna stop anyone going for the spike. It is retrieved.
Not for long.
No, Joy going down, stealing away any thought of a Fate ace. But hey, it's a team game as long as you get the job done. Somehow that's what matters. Zetic with the spike heading over towards A, which is currently clear.
Yeah, we see Jars moving quickly to try and intercept there. Not a lot of time to get it down, and Jars is just going to come out firing.
It's
Gets a
down.
lot of damage onto Zetic, but doesn't manage to drop it. Doesn't know exactly where he
Oh,
is
no.
anymore. But he's in a rough spot.
Swaps over to the op, takes their time, will finish it off. Wow, that was a very back and forward round.
Yeah, great play there, and this is what we see sometimes in those eco rounds. You just gear up with the pistols, you form one big hunting pack, and you just rush out trying to catch the attackers off guard, maybe pick up some guns and go from there. It's exactly what they did, and it works out wonderfully. As a result, Legion get their third round on the board and force Arriety into their own uncomfortable eco. It's really hard to eco an attack.
Been quite costly for both teams. I don't think either team has survived with more than 2 players in a round so far, so Arriety is perhaps not as far behind as they could be.
Oop, that's not where that recon dart wanted to go.
Sure it is, a tactical recon. Speaking of tactical, Illum heading through the showers, washes off Zetic's head. A nice advanced position here from Xylo, but just just a classic in hand. Going to be hard pressed to get anything done, especially when there's no healing coming from Joy, even if they make their way in. But Struct finishing that off. Hunter's Fury, a last-ditch attempt coming out from Q. Won't really find much. Doesn't even have the spike.
Yeah, very optimistic to be committing that one here, but I guess you're expecting to, I don't know, like, considering how well it's been used as a defusal denial tool, I feel like it's a bit of a waste here. He did Get a little bit of damage onto a Zuliet in the exchange, but a bit more, but not quite there. And hunting party's coming for him.
Surrounded, manages to pick off Struct reinforcements coming through the teleporter. Look, Q's done a solid job of surviving this long, but it will not last.
Yeah, very nicely played there. Couple of good shots in the end. Just distance being the factor. A couple of good headshots with that Sheriff, but the distance a little too far to be that one-shot kill. It can be in close range. So with that one,
This goes here.
again, Legion running away with the score at the moment, but we're seeing
That goes there.
big investment here from the attackers. They're going to go for the double op attack, which is definitely an investment.
Unusual to say the least. They know where Zytel is due to the destruction of the recon bolt. They also know where Joy is, seeing as Ilu got a nice sight down their op scope. Not the start you wanted, losing your Sage this early into the round. And counter Hunter's Fury out, so both servers invested in them very early in non-critical situations.
Well, I can understand the defense using it a bit more freely because you're mostly using it as a scouting recon tool and maybe get some early damage onto the board. You don't have as much opportunity to use it to deny. Like, you can maybe use it to deny a plant, but you need to know exactly where they're planting to be able to do that. So it doesn't have the same potential there. Ooh, Ilu again.
Yeah, rotated around. Onto B, picks out one. Zytel will find one in return, but the rest of the kills belong to Struct. Ilu with their third of the round. Legion on a roll.
Yeah, they are definitely not playing around here on Bind. They are running away with it. Now we're going to see them bring out their own double op setup, which makes sense. You put one on B long, you put one on A. Yes, that is where they're setting up. Good.
I need this. Thank you.
All according to plan.
Meanwhile, Arriety, they're onto a power pistol round. They've got one SMG, a couple of players with half armor, and a whole bunch of sheriffs. Just trying to make it happen as they rush into A.
Oh
here.
no, the paranoia sweeps through, allows Struct to pick off Joy. This Sage keeps going down first. Eventually the Omen gone, but they've done their job. Picked up two. Is that right? They've got a couple of kills to their name, but in the end it will not be enough. Ilu in the backline with the frenzy. Taking care of business, gets a sheriff for their trouble. Quick round win for Legion as they move to 6 rounds ahead to 1.
I mean, 2 kills in an eco round's not terrible, I guess. I mean, it'd be good if they got the plant as well, but it's not the end of the world. You're not too upset about losing an eco round where you just madly rush a site. In the end, they are going to be able to come back. They've got the rifles in play once more, but again, their economy is... they're going to go for the double op again, which means Joy doesn't have full armor. And this means, again, if they lose this one, they're going to be back onto another power pistol eco. So...
different positioning. Legion setting both ops up on that B side. Q not expecting Ilu to be over on B this time.
You definitely don't expect an op playing from a tight location there, like Hookah. Like that's...
Oh, Zytel, nice positioning. Finishes off Struct on the top of the boxes. Have a free entry onto A. The spike will likely get down this time. Use the neural theft to highlight exactly where the defenders are coming from. Ilu sitting in the smoke, waiting for the rest of the team to catch up. Gonna sweep out with that Blade Storm, looking to do a whole lot of damage.
I know exactly.
Oh, Zytel loses the duel against Jars. And Sage with the Vandal taking care of business. Ilu.
Oh, what a great
Oh,
play.
what a wall! Oh, this Jet is trapped in. No one's going to be there. Didn't even need the blades. The kill's all going the way of Arriety, but it's too late, Pyronius. The spike is done.
Yeah, that's a great wall there. What a great play. That's just, I love it. I love everything about that. There's nothing quite like having everyone on your team die. Your enemy has 3 people still alive at the end of the round. But it doesn't matter because you've won. You got the defuse. My ancestors are smiling down on me. Can yours say the same?
That pesky Sage barrier. You know, Overwatch players everywhere will understand the pain of a giant wall getting in the way of things. Speaking of getting in the way, Joy getting in the way of Ilu's great run. For once, turning the tables, taking this Jet out of the fight straight away. It's a nice start from Arriety.
Yeah, I mean it's a little rough when you have Joy playing Sage as one of your oppers because it's a very dangerous game. You live or die by the clicks, and it means that all of that Sage utility, and a lot of these rounds have been going down earlier, but they finally get the opening pick there.
Oh,
Going down
Zytel!
there, it's a big opening onto A, but ooh, there's a trade back.
Just popped around the corner, point blank into Fate's face. They've got presence on A, but the spike not quite there. It's going to give Legion little time to reposition themselves. As Xylo picks off Struct. The spike is ready and in position. It's going down. Only 2 members of Legion left to re-engage. We'll see what they can do.
I think they just set up for exits here, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing them do. They don't want to lose that op. They're in a decent position money-wise, but they don't want to lose the op. That's going to be a big setback. So just going to set up to maybe pick up some exit frags. It's a 2v4 retake. They're not going to try it.
Well, the worst thing they could do is give up the op and face a triple op setup coming into the next round. I'm not sure how good it will be on attack, but why not?
Well, because of exactly that, it probably won't be that good. I don't think you recover the op if you're the attacking team here. You're just denying it from your opponent is the value. Oh,
they do lose it in the end. So nice follow up by Joy. Jars will be secure inside this box on B. Geez, Arriety, they got exactly what they wanted out of that round. The win and denial of as much of Legion's economy as they could.
Yeah, it's a good step to starting to bring this one back, but at the same time they took the casualties themselves as well. It's still got 1, maybe 2 rounds. I think looking at this money and just trying to do the quick math in my head, I think if they do win this one as well, Arriety might be able to put Legion into an awkward spot where they probably just go for a full eco. But I mean, we've seen that even when they go for the full eco, Legion cannot be taken for granted here. So
Get out of my way!
Zytel lays down the challenge to Legion, whips out the knives. Sneaking up, might not be aware that Struct is hiding on the boxes around to the right of Showers. It definitely knows where Fate is hiding, so we're popping their head out. Not the smartest of moves. Oh, that shock dart. Force the reposition. A little bit of damage towards the Jet. It's quiet on the eastern and western fronts.
yeah, here comes the hit onto A. They're going to invest the ult just to force people out as well.
Oh, Struct doesn't get the drop on Zytel. The Jet able to escape with a sliver of... You're going for the knife, you cheeky bastard in the end. Zytel will finish that one off. Plugs one more in. Fate moves up. Pressure the Jet out of position. Ilu is onto the point. Says goodnight to Zetic and followed shortly after by Joy. The re-engage from Legion is exquisite.
There's another great wall down.
Okay. Sorry, that was Xylo from behind. Not going to get the job done. Q gets a little bit of revenge, but Legion extended lead out to 8 rounds once again.
Yeah, 2 rounds left in the half, and this is all going the way of Legion. There's going to be no opportunity to break their bank here at all. Even if they lose this round, they should be able to get everything they want onto the team. So no easy rounds available for the members of Arriety, who really in a rough position here. They definitely did not... I mean, at best, they're getting an 8-4 half, and we saw that can be so heartbreaking in the end. At worst, they're looking at a 10-2 half.
I would not put it past Legion to hit that double digits in the first half. And as you said, we saw how hard it was on Ascent to come back from an 8-4 on Bind. It could potentially be even harder. Losing Xytel right off the bat. Going to make life very difficult for Arriety. They trade off for a Zuliate. A little ray of sunshine. Surely has the resurrection, so they might see someone back into the fight, but with Sage going down, it's going to be harder. A couple of quick kills back to Ariety's favour. It's good to see them with a player advantage coming into this site. They're going to get the spike down.
They're going to get the spike down, but...
that was tricky telly.
Well, sometimes it's just about letting your enemy hear the telly noises and making them doubt where the enemy's coming from. Struck, yeah, in a great position, 1v1 here, but that bomb is planted for long, which means that, well, he's going to need to do that.
Teleport is good, diffuse coming through. Zetic gets a tag, Struck so low, can the spike do it? Oh my goodness, Struck! You cheeky finishes off the remaining attacker too.
Zetic has got to be unhappy about that one.
Oh, just an errant bullet. A little closer to the spike would have sealed the deal.
Well, the other thing is if Zetic had his molly available, he could have just mollied it. So it's also one of the more dangerous players, but Zetic already used that utility, doesn't have it available, and in the end isn't able to find the exact angle that Struct is defusing it from. It's got to be heartbreaking, though.
Oh, so close. Gonna ruin that one. Coming into the second half. Barrier stopping any aggression, and Xytel sees the barrier and thinks, oh, damn it. I wish I hadn't brought this shotgun up alongside. As it is, they'll head towards A.
Yeah, we'll see the rotate coming through. They're going to hit down this A short push. But yeah, it's a motley collection of guns here because of, you don't have the money for anything better. But Jet with the Judge is pretty dangerous.
Oh, the wall goes up underneath one of the defenders. Gets lifted out of the way, allows the spike to go down, doesn't jump off. Probably the smart play there. You see the Hunter's Fury sweeping through, not going to deter any defusal here, as it is Fate on the defense. Xytel picking off Jars, denying any chance at a resurrection. Zuliate sitting in lamps, takes out with the op, picks up a Vandal. Oh, but Xytel's ready, the Judge. Going to be dropped, an op retrieved. Arriety get the round win at the end of the second half, and not the round I thought they would get it on, Pyronius.
No, but they managed to play it really well, and it just shows just how dangerous Jet can be with a Judge. Her movement abilities allowing her to close the distance disgustingly quickly, means that she can be absolutely lethal with that thing if you can't get the hits on her. It's not a great play for those big open areas, but for a nice tight enclosed space like the area around A short and into there is really great and really brings her to bear. So looks like we will be heading into a pause. So suppose we actually had something lined up for the next pause, didn't we? You were talking about teams sacrificing the Sage for.
Oh yes. Oh, I mean, coming into the game, we knew the Sage was going to be there. We didn't really know how much of an impact she'd have, and a lot of her utility is in the fact that she has the slow and the wall. My question is, if they took the heal away from Sage, would she stay in the meta?
Oh, that is an interesting one, because I mean, we've seen such incredible plays with the walls. Even in this one, just the ability to safely plant or safely diffuse, closing off angles with that wall makes it very powerful. I mean, the question is, if you take away that ability, what are you giving her in return? Like, what is she
nothing.
getting?
I'm just leaving it.
Nothing. So she's an ability down from every other character in the game. I think
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think at that point, like, you should need to have something to replace it, even if it's not something especially good. And yeah, it becomes, well, what's appropriate there. But the heal, I mean, the heal is not the most useful thing. Like, a lot of the time, people will get killed. It's not often that you get to back away from a fight on low health. Sometimes there's a trade. Maybe you take someone down and you take a bit of damage. Sometimes you just take a hit that isn't lethal and you can back off. But a lot of the time, there's no opportunity to actually deploy that heal. The value comes from the wall, the slow, and the res. Bringing someone back is really good for swinging things around. The heal itself, definitely can be used, but you can't even rely on being able to use it every round because you need people to not die.
I did it again. Legion uses one barrier to get over another. That is my favourite strat I've seen in the tournament so far, and they keep whipping it out. Thank you. Off the back of that, they get the spike down with no trades going to either team whatsoever. Still a full 5v5 for Arriety's re-engagement.
Yeah, we'll expect them to take their time with the re-engagement. When they don't have an opportunity there, you want to have the whole team rotate. Now it's coming through. Joy picks up Struck, but the trades are there.
They are indeed headshot to plenty on the kill feed, but it will be Arriety coming up with the goods jars, does what they can, but in the end,
Ooh.
it will be Legion falling.
That's half done.
Yeah.
Easy.
But Zytel almost got the complete one off, and that may have been what saved them there, getting that half defuse done. An interesting mechanic in the game, but it does save teams every now and then.
Yeah, something I've found a lot of the time is that because people like to bait defusers and people are used to people baiting a defuse, a lot of the time you can get away with getting about a half defuse done before you need to look for someone poking you, especially in more of a 1v1 situation. If it's one versus several, they're probably going to be more aggressive on making sure that you're not defusing. But a lot of the time you can get a free half, and that can be absolutely valuable in those 1v1s, winning the mind game, knowing that you can afford to let it go a bit later because it's half done already. Oh, this could be big. Nope, not so much.
Azulea gets the jump onto Joy. Not the start I want to see as Arriety, especially after taking that last round. Going down to a measly Sheriff. Got to be a bit humiliating.
Well, Sheriff's a dangerous gun, and one of the better guns that are being fielded here by the members of Legion, so...
And they're just biding their time. Azulea pops off another couple of shots, but takes a fair bit of damage for the efforts. The Cypher has to back away. We'll rejoin the rest of the team over towards the B site.
Oof.
Oh, struck. People bastard. Zetic picking up
Zetic's
two.
coming alive.
Indeed. Only on 20 health, staying there. A bold move from the Brimstone, but they've taken enough time off the clock, allowed the reinforcements to join up. Might even be... No, won't be a heal on the table, given that Joy was the first down.
Your fault.
Ooh, Ilu picks up two.
Oh, dearie me. Not much time left. Legion needs to get the plant done.
I got the spike.
Yeah, they're gonna have... Oh no, that kill is going to stop the plant from being able to be done. That's so huge. Zetic gets the key kill at the right time, then he knows there's not enough time for the plant to be there, just runs around the corner to safety so he can't be taken out and allow him to win the round by elimination. The plant will come through just for the extra money, but it's not much use there. So another round, well, not much use for the scoreline at least. It still gives the extra money. But Arriety, they're coming alive in the second half again. Maybe Legion coming into these second halves take their foot off the pedal, looking at a comfortable advantage, and it gives Arriety a way back into these.
It does. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of this, make use of this advantage. Poking
Still a lot of
prodding.
ground to catch up.
But But look, they are a playoff team. They've proven their worth over the course of the season so far. They need to make sure they're proving that they deserve to be here. Even though they came into the final as the lowest seeded team. Maybe that's just a great underdog story we've got unfolding for us.
Well, at a 9-5 scoreline against, they're definitely in the underdog position here. Especially even if they make it back in this map, they'll still need to win a third one as well. It's quite a journey ahead of them, but that's a great
Good
peek
start.
by Zytel there.
Indeed, Aziliate a little too confident. I want to take up this Jet, who's presumably the lead fragger. Even now the general opper. But a couple of trades back towards Legion. Give them access to the A site. Barrier ensuring the plant.
Yeah, Zytel's actually been having a bit of a rough game so far. 10 and 14. Putting them technically 4th on the team, but equal with Q, who's also not having the game now they were having last time. Top frag is actually Xylo on 12-11.
There you go. That Cypher doing great work, getting in on the action here, but it will be Zetic picking up. Struck the Zuliates back into the fight. Xylo down, all of a sudden Legion with the numbers advantage. Just the Brimstone left will be taken out. That means the attackers securing another one. Legion putting a stop to this second half momentum. For Arriety, they hit double digits. They are inching ever closer to that semi-final berth.
Yeah, and more distressingly here for Arriety is that they're gonna have to eco this round. They just don't have the money to invest in here. They will be picking up the power pistols, so they're gonna have a sheriff and a couple of shorties, as well as a ghost on Xylo and a bit of armor on Zetic. But still risky, and they're probably going to have to play aggressively into one of the sides. Try and overwhelm the defenders there, capture some guns, and then try and hold it from the counterattack. We'll see how that works out. It looks like it's going to be the A site hit. Oh, sorry, I'm getting my teams mixed up. They're having to defend with, having to defend with the power pistols, so they don't even have an easy way to do this.
Joy using all the utility he has available to him, the barrier. Timing Legion for the moment. Buying a little bit of time. Will inspire the blades to be unsheathed by Ilu. Floats over, looking for someone to take care of.
Just waiting for Joy
Oh,
to
and
peek
showers
out there.
Zytel with a shorty taken down, but manages to get one. In the meantime, Ilu pops over the top. The knives don't get the job done, but the Vandal will, picking off 3. That will see Legion on the site, getting the spike down. And again, it's all up to Zetic. Can the Brimstone get the job done? Able to pick off 1 with the Ghost. In the end, it's no match for the long-range firepower of a Vandal. Legion moves within 2 rounds of a semi-final berth. And just before we get into the next round, an update on the other quarter-final matches going on. Aurora SP has taken the match against Lanterns in a relatively easy 2-0. They will be facing off against the top seed coming into the playoffs. Weekend Warriors next week. Don't miss out on that.
Yeah, that's going to be that's a good decisive win there. Is that both maps or?
That is, it's 13-6, 13-4.
Ah, yes. There we go. There we go. I see the update now.
In any case, back to this map, it will be Ilu finding Zytel up C main. And Jet not really ready for such aggression coming out from an attacker.
Yeah, the A site's pretty much completely open here now. But looks like the hit's actually going to be coming down onto B, so this is perhaps going to be the best, the best opportunity.
They've got B pretty.
Yeah.
Well,
B
you know what?
is
They didn't expect Xylo to be there. They were pretty far forward, thinking we've got this. But no, Cypher in the backline, followed up by Joy. Sorry, there's trades. My mistake. Here comes the attacking Hunter's Fury yet again, coming out early just to clear space.
Oh, Xylo.
Oh, the Cypher lighting up the kill feed. Bait drops through the trap wire. It's going to highlight exactly where they are. Zetic picking that one up. Arriety keeping a close eye on what Legion is doing. They're trying to claw their way back into the match.
Yeah, it's the round they definitely needed. Now they just need to keep this one up. If they can win this one, you start to break your opponent's economy. And I talk about that so much, but it's so important here. Because once you get that happening, that's when you start getting the free rounds that you can really close the gap in. It's 11-6. It's not over yet. They're still fighting hard for it. But there's such a long way to go yet.
Zytel, shiny blue op in hand. An icon of style right here. Can they style on the members of Legion Esports? Oh, Legion, sorry, as they make their way in. Bot struck. Takes a little tag for the efforts, but kill is a kill.
Yeah, player advantage going over there to the defense.
It will be increased by Joy. Zuliate falling afoul of the Sage.
Here.
It's going to signal a rotation. They're heading straight towards B. Not willing to put up with the op or the numbers. Currently defending A.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to take the site, get the plant. Maybe get a little extra money. With the economy as it is, you want to get that plant, even if you can't secure it down.
Oh, Xylo in elbow. Spots
no.
Fate, who will be immediately resurrected to the fight. Zetic's orbital strike takes 2. That will see paid to the plant, but Zytel uses the distraction, teleport across to A. Ilu rushing back with the blades ready. Sorry, it's Ilu heading towards A. My mistake. The lone jet with the blades out. No, Zetic sitting in heaven says, "Nah, we're having none of that knife play here." The defuse come through Arriety. A considered defuse there, picking up the weapons they need.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're not too... At that point, Ilu's just happy to get the plant down, get the extra money for the team. It is going to be the difference between being able to get full armor and a proper assault rifle for some of their players. Although it looks like no, so they're not going to go into it anyways. Okay, because they're not able to fully buy into the round, they're actually just going to eco this one. They're doing a bit of a force buy. They got some power pistols, some SMGs. So they're sort of splitting the difference here, hoping that it maybe is enough for them.
Not wasting any efforts on B. Make a beeline straight through the showers. They want to clean up their act. Get out of this match with an easy 2-mat win.
Well, when you're going into like a force by eco round, you don't have the powerful weapons. You don't want to be spreading out and poking. You just want to commit to a site hard. That's what they're going to do here.
Oh, the slow combined with the Hunter's Fury. Might prove deadly. It doesn't quite. Trades on both sides.
A lot of damage
Sage is going down.
A lot of damage on these players, and there's the shock dart to clean some of that up.
Oh, Q. So Arriety doing a great job. Using their abilities to great effect. We saw Zetic do the nasty in the last round. We'll pick up Ilu for their troubles in this round. The Cyber Trap not proving a deterrent at all as they follow up onto Fate. Arriety, they're closing the gap, Pyronius. I'm feeling it.
They are at 8-11. I've got a lot of momentum here, but well, the loss bonus combined with that force buy means that we will see some proper guns coming into play this round. But if they're able to pick this one up as well off Legion, it puts Legion back into that same position they were just in, where they're having to compromise. Actually, they might... No, it puts them into a position where they're not going to be able to fully buy. They could mostly buy though, so I don't know. We'll see how they decide on that one when we get there. But either way, you're not in a comfortable position if you are the members of Legion, especially losing Fate right out the gate there like that.
They've got to be worried. They know Zytel has the op in hand, can turn up the heat where required. There's a dark cover and the paranoia from Struct. A lot of utility going towards B, but Zytel not having any of that up there. Second of the round, Zylo with 2 of their own. Trade out.
Oh, step back into the molly.
Oh, that's got a hoit. And that's probably just as well deserved, given that they actually managed to find Zetic there.
Yeah,
So Arriety, 2 rounds away.
Yeah, 2 rounds away. With the lost bonus, you will be able to see them coming in here with a full loadout of guns. I think they're just trying to decide if they want an op or not. Ilu will pick up the op there, so they're still able to come in here. But this is such crucial.
Joy! It's going to be a barrier op strategy. Piggybacked off Fate just to get on top of this vehicle.
No one's poking up there.
That's an absolute shame, because it was a nice little piece of tech there.
And this round, if Legion lose this, they don't have the money to buy into the next round, which means it probably evens up the scoreline.
Oh. Don't count Arriety out until all is said and done. Q and Azuliad trading blows. Oh, but it will be Azuliad picking a lucky shot onto the head. The neural theft highlighting where the defense is set up. It gives them time to decide where they wish to go.
Looks like it will be a rotate onto B. Bombs make its way down there. However, we're still seeing some aggressive positioning here.
Oh, I think they might be trying to bait out an A push. It looks like there's a little bit of sneaky behavior going on.
Yeah, and it's now been called. We're seeing the rotate coming through. There's a lone Cypher on B who's desperately in need of help, but Zylo will not be able to stay up there.
That op investment, such a good idea. Loses out the duel to Zytel, but the rest of the team is there providing cover. The spike is planted. 2v4 Paronius. Arriety is going to be hard pressed to make the way back onto the point.
Yeah, I really like Azuliat there, just camping the body, knowing that the res is on the table and this is where it'll be. And,
Joy!
Clean that up.
Walk straight out of the dark cover into Struct. Not what you want to be doing. Losing that op. Zetic finds the Omen, gets a double, but in the end, Jars will finish the job as Legion move on to match point. They are a round win away from the semi-finals.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big relief from Legion there as well. They needed to win that round. They didn't win it as cleanly as they would have liked to, so they're still not in a super comfortable spot, but it's definitely better than the alternative. They do all have the assault rifles. They do all have armor, even if they're not able to invest the op again. Meanwhile, a double op defense, so still very much possible for Arriety here to bring this one back.
Zytel takes the shot of the camera, gives away the position. Has to back off as the dark cover and the paranoia are invested to clear out the op.
You're being very careful here. Just trying to get some intel about the site layout, but not able to get a lot of information. All the scanning devices being cleaned up very quickly. But
that's both the ops from I think that both of Variety's ops. Sorry, I'm making a mistake. Never mind me.
No, both Joy and Zytel are on A side.
Oh, they are too.
And in fact, we're seeing a big rotation over towards A from the defense. Meanwhile, the attack's actually going to come down on B.
It is just the Brimstone holding the fort on defense. So we'll see Azuliate hiding away from the
no, they're rotating back to A again.
Oh, this is so good. Struct using the from the shadows as a bait. There you go. Ilu, the Blaze Storm is out, teaching Zytel a thing or two about how to throw a knife. Orbital Strike going to deny the plan. Zetic with another double with the ultimate. Joy finishing off Struct. Legion, they're desperate to get the spike down. But with Zolo there, Zetic following up with their third of the round. Arriety stays in contention. They're not going to let Legion get away with this without a fight.
And now Legion are in a rough economic spot. This is because they didn't get that spike down. They don't have the money to play this round properly. It's going to force them into power pistols, which is going to be, all things being equal, given how hard it is to successfully attack with this sort of force buy, you're looking at an 11-12 scoreline here. Legion, they're still up, but they're not in a comfortable spot, and because of the bank that the members of Arriety have been able to accumulate here, you're not going to have a round where they can't afford to buy in. Here comes the attack now. They're just going to come straight in over the top. Zara doesn't know where they are.
They don't care that all that smoke is there. Illu marches in, Struck finding one of their own. The spike going down. What a play by Legion. Just so bold, and it pays off.
Yeah, they've secured the site. They've secured a couple of guns. Now they've got the opportunity to hold it 5v3. Very little damage taken by them. There's a couple of hits on them, but it's really minor stuff. They're in a great position to maybe win this one out here.
See if Zytel learnt how to use the blade to Milu.
Oh, there we go.
Revenge! What an entry. It's 2 down the Cloudburst, providing all the cover in the world. The defuse has to come through Jazz. Manages to pick off Q. Zytel still hunting, not able to get the job done on.
Oh, there it is.
No! Legion taking out by securing a semi-final berth. But Arriety made them work for it.
They certainly did, but what a great way to win it from Legion. Picking it up on a power pistol eco round, just showing the power of sheer aggression. And, just really catching out the defense there. They cleanly took that site without losing anyone. And that really is what set them up for the win there, because if they'd lost even one extra person, it's that much harder to hold the site there. You've got that much less firepower. So absolutely huge that they're able to cleanly take that one. And as a result, they cleanly take this series with a 2-0 victory.
Indeed. And that second map really was the Illu show. The scoreboard tells the tale. That Jet leading the way, 30 for 18, an absolute monster with the op. And you see, again, Arriety wasn't too far behind, at least scoreboard-wise. The next 4 players, at least according to average combat score, were from that losing team. So, a valiant effort from there. They put up such a great fight. Oh.
They really did, and Zedek having 2 massive orbital strikes, picking up 2 people in both of them, one of which was catching a Sage Ms-Res, killing both the Sage and the Res victim. So at that point, it's kind of just padding the stat line as well, but that's got to be tilting to be on the receiving end of that one. But in the end, Legion, they close it out. They've picked up the win here, and they will be going through to the semi-finals next week.
Indeed. Speaking of semi-finalists, we know who Aurora will be facing off against. It is Forbidden. I take that back. Sorry, we know who Legion's opponent will be. It will be Forbidden Gaming. They 2-0'd Doxa AU, 13-8, 13-11. So that was a very close match, and I'm really excited to see this matchup between Forbidden Gaming and Legion, the 2nd and 3rd seeds in the tournament. As close can be statistically coming out of the round stage 1. So, I mean, we've got a fantastic series on our hands. The 4 top-rated teams left in the tournament will be fighting it out for a grand final berth in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to look forward to there, but that's going to be the end of our coverage for this evening. We'll be back next week for one of those semi-final matches. So if you're make sure you're looking forward to that one. And as we look to close things out here, have you got any additional things to bring up? I'm just trying to remember.
I do. For Arriety Esports, the top fraggers in both maps were the Brimstones. Interestingly enough, Q in map 1 and Zetic in map 2. So a good agent for them. And if you are Forbidden Gaming, you're looking at what you can do against Legion. I think the second map shows if you can shut Illu down, not allow them to go absolutely ham on your team, that's where your opportunity is.
Yeah, definitely the case. But it's so hard to shut Ilu down because, like, as is so often the case with the Jet player on the team, they're often the op as well. They're taking those aggressive angles, they'll fire the shot, and then they'll use that Jet dash to get out of danger back into cover. So not the easiest person to catch out, and that's sort of why we see people coming out second best in those op duels against them, is because that's basically the tool you need to try and shut that one down. But, well, we'll have a chance to see if Ilu remains the invincible dominator of the leaderboard next week, or if they're finally put back in their place when we're back for that semi-title matchup.
Indeed. I'm sure Ilu is probably a My Republic Gamer customer, given just the sheer skill they display on that op. Just a split-second timing thanks to your gaming traffic getting to where it's needed a split second before the opponents, who evidently not My Republic customers.
Absolutely. Big thank you to our sponsor, My Republic, and a big thank you to all of you viewers as well. If you'd like to get involved in some Valorant action of your own, just a reminder that we do run Valorant Pugs on Sunday nights. So feel free to jump into the AO Esports Discord, sign yourself up for the Valorant Pugs, and come along on Sunday nights. And yeah, try your best in a fun little competitive pickup game. Definitely better than ladder.
Definitely, and not only because you're playing with lots of other talented players, you're playing with us, the AOE community, the best community in Oceania.
Absolutely. And on that note, that's going to be the end of it from us. So until next week, take care, stay safe, look after yourselves, and we'll see you all real soon.